Welcome. BitmonkeyTV. This is not an episode number. This is Tech Tip Tuesday, take 2. So bear with me today. We're starting about 32 minutes late. It's having some technical difficulties. Focusrite is on my shit list with this mic setup. This Scarlett, I don't know what model it is, but I essentially had to uninstall, reinstall all the drivers. Tested it on the backup laptop, didn't work. Tried out different cables. It's been a consistent issue. So luckily I got it working, and I'm just gonna pop on for a quick 5 minutes to give you a 3-step tune-up that I follow on Windows 10. Keep in mind before I proceed, like all of this advice, please proceed at your own risk. I cannot account for certain variables, certain antivirus software, certain firewalls you might have in place, certain underlying bugs that you don't know exist. And if you perform one of these tasks unaware of what you have on your system, it might cause issues, right? Chances are it won't happen, but you can't hold me to it. So please proceed at your own risk. Always make backups before you follow any advice, including my advice. Any tech tip you see on YouTube, Twitch, or wherever you're streaming from or watching your stream, make backups beforehand. Okay, so we're gonna get straight into it. This is for Windows 10. I'm gonna pop in over here. So if you just hit your start menu, what I like to do to perform a tune-up, I do this once a month. Sometimes once a quarter, every couple of months. But I like to clear 2 different temp directories. There's always 2 given temp directories, depending on how many users you're using. In my case, I only have 1 primary user, and then you have the Windows directory. So we're going to be going in the app data folder. I wanted to pull this up to show you here, just a 2-step. Press the Windows start menu icon, and you can just start typing run to get to this window. As soon as you type run, hit enter, it's gonna pop up with this window. Type in %appdata%. What that'll do is, let me pop that in. It's gonna take you over to Thanks for bearing with me. This is weird. Come on, buddy. There you are. All right, so generally what you want to do here is you want to go back out to app data. We always want to go hit local, not roaming. All right. Go down to the temp directory. Let me see. Why isn't this scaled down? I need to find a way for future episodes to magnify this, so bear with you. I'm going to try to just make it as large as possible and throw it underneath, just right above the background. There we go. Just for now. I want to go into this temp directory. Now keep in mind, sometimes this will clear. You just want to select all files within this temp directory. Shift, delete. All right, I have a lot. I haven't done this in a while, so it's actually a good test. I haven't done this while streaming live. I don't think it's going to disconnect us because one rule of thumb when you're clearing this, I forgot to mention, make sure you always reboot your computer first and foremost. It's always smart too. I know I just rebooted mine about 5 minutes ago, so I don't have to go through that right now. But you just want to, I hit shift delete because that permanently deletes it. One extra step to avoid having to empty your recycle bin. So that's another little tip. But right here, rule of thumb, anything that it says it cannot be completed because it's open, that's fine. That file's locked. So it's actually doing you a favor, preventing any corrupt data from being written, right? Any applications from being improperly shut down, right? If you have locked files inside of this temp directory, just click skip, all right? That's actually a blessing in disguise right there. So damn. There's a lot in my temp directory right there. I've been doing a lot of work though too, so it's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple months, and we're just getting started. So as that proceeds, I'm going to go to the second location. This is always step 2. I just go into the root directory of your partition, usually the C drive. Go back to Windows directory, and we just want to go to temp. So it's C, Windows temp. It's going to ask for permission, and we're going to do the same exact thing here. Shift delete everything in here. You'd be surprised how many times I've been called back when I used to do a lot of desktop support, and these two steps would solve so many problems. Not just a simple restart, right? Simple restart, you'd still have some data in here. And also, if you ever visit a website, I'm gonna go back here. If you ever visit a website and you think that a pop-up might have attached something into your temp directories, this is the best way to remediate that immediately, right? To address that immediately. And if you're using Malwarebytes Premium, they scan these directories on the regular, especially when you're browsing the web, so you should be covered. Now, this is not affiliated with Malwarebytes whatsoever. I first discovered them, I want to say 2012, back when their icon was a red M box. And they've grown significantly, and out of all of the antivirus or anti-malware providers that I've seen across my career, they are one of the best when it comes to performing at the highest level for a long period of time, right? Normally you get a company like McAfee or Norton, and they have their glory days, but then they start to add a little too much. Their application becomes a little too invasive, right? It bogs down. It's deeply embedded and rooted into your system to the point where you don't even know how much they have access to, right? Over the years, causes issues. And I've found that, you know, fixing a lot of IT related issues that were causing a computer to run slow, if I saw that there was Norton on there for a long period of time, I would first ask their permission, you know, can I remove it? They would usually argue, say, no, it's been doing great. And I was like, well, let me clone your drive. That way we can revert back to it. And let me show you the difference. Let me prove to you by executing this repair. And 9 times out of 10, they fix the problem. There were those few variables where there was hardware failure, but more often than not, the point I'm trying to come across with is most antivirus companies fall off the map the longer they stay in business, right? Ah, man, really? But you can hear me? So the whole video is frozen? That's all right. Let me check here real quick. I might have to restart this. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we are testing again to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So maybe I should stop that, because I feel like ever since I started that, these weird video frozen issues would occur. So I think I'll go back to it, right? Maybe starting with tomorrow when Scott comes back here, when we go to episode number 30, we'll kick back to just streaming on Twitch. We really love doing the dual stream. I also need to troubleshoot Streamlabs OBS. You know, at first I loved it, but I've been finding that it might be causing some issues. But you got to also understand, I'm using a laptop for everything, right? It's a very high-end laptop, but I do have an extra workstation here. It's an i7, it's a quad core, so I should and it has its own GPU, so I should probably use that as a dedicated streaming workstation moving forward. So I'll probably set that up for tomorrow. So thanks for bearing with us. And yeah, Cam, if you can't still view it, that's concerning, but I'm gonna look into this on a couple different machines here. But let me just finish up here. So hey Gary, thanks for tuning in. So yeah, keep in mind when you're clearing these 2 temp directories, the 2 locations you want to look at first is hit run on your computer. You type in %appdata%. It's going to take you into this user's directory. I'm going to pull up on my screen. So it's going to take you all the way into your app data. It's going to throw you into roaming. What you want to do is go back to local and then go all the way down to temp. And then within the temp directory, you want to select all, shift delete. Now make sure you do perform a backup. I'm pretty confident nothing would happen, but you know, like I said before, I cannot account for certain variables and applications that might cause issues if you clear this folder, right? But lucky for us, Windows does lock those files that are in use. So just skip those files that you can't delete and reboot your machine. All right, and the reason I started going off on that antivirus rant is I really wanted to highly recommend Malwarebytes. Start off with the free version. I've been paying for the premium, I think since 2018. I know the price has gone up significantly, you know, since I think it was like 20 bucks a month. It might even be actually Let's pull it up. Let's take a look. All right, hey, thanks for testing, Gary. I really appreciate it. Could just be something on Cam's end there. But good to know it's not, man, I was really worried about this focus right here. Ooh, I'm also going to pull up a little fun video that I was watching right before here. Right before I started this stream while I was troubleshooting everything. While the device drivers were reinstalling, I hopped onto Gary V's Instagram and got some, this fun video I want to share, so. Hey Cam, so you still can't see me, but you can hear me? Is what it sounds like? And I'm guessing you've tried to clear cache and cookies. That's weird. I'm gonna just pull up this window in the meantime. That's weird. So, through Twitch or YouTube? So for anybody watching here, we are, you get to experience this live, you know, and I hope that this does record, but, you know, trial and error. You know, our first episode, I think we titled, or maybe we just titled Just Start. But, yeah, so Twitch, that's weird. Try YouTube. I'm going to hop on. It looks like we are live on both. And of course, my computer's being biased towards me because it wants to show the live stream for me. So I think we're okay. Shut LMAO. It sounds like you probably just figured it out. It's probably simple. So I'm going to continue. So step 3. Run Malwarebytes. Go download the premium. They have a free trial. I highly recommend it. Don't bother with the browser guard. It's just one added kind of search toolbar I personally don't use. But their privacy VPN service, if you want to start using that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. So if you're ever in a public Wi-Fi and you don't trust anybody on the network who could be capturing data, food for thought. Anybody who wasn't aware of this. Anytime you go to a Starbucks, public Wi-Fi that has free Wi-Fi, and you see a lot of people nearby, especially airports, be wary, you know, use it, but don't log into any sensitive data. Make sure you log out of any apps that have any, you know, passwords with sensitive data, because with the wrong person in that network, they can capture all your data. I've done it before. I've tested through the Certified Ethical Hacking program. It's scary how easy it is. So the reason I bring up that VPN service is it's good to just use to connect. That way you know your connection is secure and outside of that network. You use that network initially to get that internet connection, but then you tunnel into a private network, which is secure, which you don't have to worry about, right? Ideally, if you're hosting the VPN server, that's better, but Control Alt Delete, unplug, plug, throw in trash, go to Best Buy. That's funny. Oh man, we need to do a Control Alt Delete. You know, I'm probably gonna do something like that. I'm gonna start to do some fun stuff like that. You know, some fun BitMonkey memes. You know, Tech Tip Tuesday memes playing off of these clips. So, but yeah, that's it. You know, that's a 3-step tune-up. I'm gonna add in a 4th step here that it's beneficial to run. You don't have to run this too much. But what you want to do is you want to hit the start menu again. You want to type in CMD. Cat, Mary, dog. And I'm going to edit the screen here for you to see. So you type CMD, hit enter. One little note I forgot to mention. So you type CMD, right click. and then hit run as administrator, because what we're about to perform, if you try to run it just in the basic level of command prompt, it won't let you run it. So you type command, and then as soon as it populates, you highlight your mouse over it, right click, run as admin. I'm typing admin for short. It says administrator. All right. I'm going to pop open in the caption. Let me pull up that command prompt there. Come on, buddy. Where you at? All right, here's how it looks here. Let's move this below. Yeah, doing this live. This is interesting. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope this is valuable first and foremost. So after we get to this point, right, just to recap, to open this screen, to open this command prompt, we're running this as administrator. You just want, with a clean old desktop, you want to select your start menu, start typing in CMD cat Mary dog, and you're going to see an option for command prompt populate. You want to right click, hit run as administrator. You hit confirm or yes, I forget exactly what the prompt is, just to make sure. And then you'll see this screen come up here. There's two additional tips I'll give you here, and this is after you clear your temp directories. The first one is gonna do a SFC scan now. Do this you don't have to do this as frequently. Only do this if you feel like Windows Update messed up something, or there's a certain Windows process, built-in application that's proprietary and native to the Windows operating system or Microsoft operating systems that you think is malfunctioning. This is what's called a system file checker. This checks those files, and it'll try to repair them if it can. If it can't, it'll create a log file, and it'll show you exactly where the destination of that log file is. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to press it because I know my computer will most likely be fast. It'll probably do it in like 20 minutes, but this sometimes, depending on your system, depending on the condition of the system and the speed of your hard disk, more importantly, whether or not you're running a solid state hard disk, or a solid state flash disk, or a old school spindle mechanical hard disk, usually the 3.5 or 2.5 inch SATAs. And if you're running an IDE that is old school, this is going to take a very, very long time. But you should probably reach out to me in the DMs if you're still running an IDE-based mechanical hard disk, because I don't think they manufacture those anymore. So, but if you're still running it, that shows a testament to the manufacturing back then, right? They actually built equipment to last. All this stuff we buy now, it's got a shelf life. It's got an expiration date, unfortunately. A lot of these companies don't make money anymore if they build it to last a lifetime. So it's a sad truth with this industry, but it is what it is. So the second tip that I'm gonna give here is what's called a check disk. Now, first you can just run a check, right? /C. This doesn't require you to restart your machine, but what it'll do, you primarily only want to run this when you're using a mechanical hard disk, right? So if you can't confirm that you have a solid state hard flash drive in your machine, chances are you have a mechanical disk. What this will do is this will first check to see if you have any bad sectors, and then it'll let you know, hey, we can repair it too. Let's see here, no further action required. See, right around here is where you want to look. These are the key words. This is where you usually find the problems. Now, if you were to have problems, the best way to address that, run the same command, /R, space /F, repair and fix. So first it's going to search for sectors to repair, and then it's going to fix those sectors, right? So, and you'd be surprised how many times at the family business when we had a problem with a machine that was running a little too slow, we would first obviously check the health of the motherboard, check the health of the hardware, run our basic troubleshooting steps. But more often than not, hard disks were the biggest cause of failure, because it's gotten to a point where they were failing every 6 to 18 months. It was insane. They were barely making it past a year and a half. And luckily, most Seagate and Western Digital drives come with a 2-year warranty. They might have changed that. Like I said, I'm out of that industry. I'm out of that type of daily support for consumers. So, I can always reach out to that vendor, but that's like if you want me to, I can go check. But yeah, I would hope this was valuable for everybody. So I'm gonna call it an episode. Thanks for bearing with me. 20 minutes, not bad. 22:11. All right. So I'd like to know if you guys find this valuable. Please drop a comment, and I'd like to know if you didn't, what you would find valuable, and if I maybe overlooked something. Maybe I forgot to mention something as I was explaining my troubleshooting steps and my tune-up steps. This was supposed to be a 3-step tune-up. I turned it into 5 with those 2 extra little added bonuses through the command prompt. Now, keep in mind, before I let you guys go, always make a backup of your system, right? Always back up your system unless you know what you're doing, unless you're confident that there's not a third party that's going to conflict with this type of work. In most cases, right, if you don't have a very invasive antivirus software or firewall, it's not going to cause any issues. But I noticed the more invasive the application, the more issues it causes when you try to make your machine better. It's funny how that works. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. So thanks again for tuning in. This was take 2 of Tech Tip Tuesdays on BitmonkeyTV, and looking forward to